What's going on, lockdown fam? I hope y'all had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I know I did. Probably ate just a little too much, but who cares? It's Thanksgiving, y'all. So I'm gonna make a banging video for y'all today, little tips and tricks. I know right now y'all anxious to get out on the water with me, but you know the weather right now in Tennessee, little crazy. You know, we just had a big band of rain come in, so you know that's gonna basically eliminate the bass fishing. A lot of cold weather coming in. I know tonight I think it's supposed to drop down into the low 30s. Tomorrow the high is like 42 degrees and the low is like 27. So them water temperatures are dropping drastically. But this video coming up right here is talking about this time of the year. So let's go ahead, let's jump into this. Alright y'all, so my top 5 baits, I might throw a little extra in there, I really don't know. But starting off, I'm gonna talk about the square bill. The square bill, that's gonna be a good bait to throw around your shallow areas, along rocks, any kind of brush. That bill is gonna help deflect off and create a reaction strike. I know this time of the year the bass are dying off, well not really dying off, but slowing down, trying to conserve as much heat as possible right now with these colder water temperatures. So you know, slow roll your crankbait, square bill, deep diver, lipless, whatever. Slow roll that. Try to create a reaction strike or imitate a dying shad. You know, with this one, I like to imitate the bait fish here. So that one right there is going to really imitate. Also, another thing that would really do good around your rocks, it's going to try to imitate that crawl pattern. And I'll talk a little more about that here in I got my next one. I'll talk about that crawl pattern a little more and why that'll do good around this time of the year. So that's another square bill right there. So moving on to my second, which is going to be a jig. A jig is going to do good around you know, a swim jig kind of. Let me go ahead and open up this. Kind of take it. I don't think I have any swim jigs in here, but I'll talk a little bit about why a swim jig does good. And a swim jig is going to do good around here because, you know, around your grass, it's going to kind of imitate a bait fish in a sense. And what I like to do around grass with a swim jig is I like to kind of twitch my rod a little bit, kind of help it stay above that grass, but kind of slow roll it through it. If you catch my drift right there, you know, that helps, you know, them bass that are staying within that grass, trying to stay warm. That's going to help, you know, it's going to imitate a shad coming through or a bluegill, whatever, you know, whatever your bait fish is around where you fish. You know, it's going to imitate that. If you slow roll it, bass is going to come up from underneath. Boom, you got it. And I'll tell you, with this time of the year, you're not going to get them hard strikes that you get during like the fall, you know, late spring, early summer. You know, they're going to be swiping at it, or they're going to just come up and just kind of take the bait, but you're not really going to know it till you reel in that slack and you feel the tension. So, you know, I like to throw that. And another jig I like to throw is a flipping jig, or, you know, like this one right here. This is a booyah flipping jig, and kind of like a crawl pattern. Kind of flip that along rocks, or a football football jig and crawl pattern, flip those along rocks. And what I like about the crawl patterns around this time of the year is a lot of people are, trying to fish them bait fish and all that, trying to imitate the hats, the shad, the bluegill, and all that. I'm telling you, y'all, throw something that's a little different. Throw something that's different than what everybody's using. Because in bass, you don't know if wherever you're fishing's been fish heavy, on bluegill patterns or shad pattern colors. And then bass are, kind of finicky on looking at that, and it's like, oh, I don't want to try that again. Throw a crawl pattern in, throw a little raised tail crawl on the back of this football jig, or a pack of crawl or anything like that. And it's going to imitate that crawl, and it's going to be different than bass maybe you used to seeing. Go out and imitate that hatch when you first get there. But if your bite gets tough, find you some rocks or some brush, and just bounce this along the brush, or especially around rocks, with that crawl on the back, and you're gonna get them. I mean, I promise you. That's why I like to do around here. Is just kind of throw something a little different than what the bass are normally seeing. So that's my second one. My third one, what I really like to throw really good around this time of the year, is a jerk bait. A lipless jerk, flukes, anything like that. Even this one has got a lip on. It's a slow suspending jerk bait from Rapala. That's going to imitate that dying shad. Just give it a couple jerks and just let it sit for 1 to 20 seconds. I like to let it sit for about 10 to 15 seconds, depending on where I'm fishing. But just slow roll and just jerk it. Give it a couple jerks. And that's going to do is it's going to imitate a dying shad, especially whenever you jerk it a couple of times and you just let it sink. You just let it suspend down. It's going to suspend really in kind of like a spiral. And what that's going to do for them bass is them bass sitting deep, they're going to be waiting on a dying shad, an easy meal. So with this slow rolling down in a spiral, that's going to imitate that dying shad. So the bass sitting on the bottom are going to think, oh, an easy meal. They're going to go up and they're going to get it. So that's one of my number one baits that I like to throw in these winter months. These late November, early, all the way through December to around this time of the year, early February. Anything like that's going to do good. So I guess moving on to number 4, I like to throw a chatterbait. Chatterbaits are going to do real good. It's going to get you that reaction strike. Slow roll it, give it a couple jerks, and let that blade sit there and rattle. That's going to do real good. This one is the Z-Man Chatterbait Elite. I think I picked this up at Cabela's the other night for like $5. It really wasn't that much. They had good sales going on for Black Friday. But a chatterbait, what I like to do around this time of year with the chatterbait is kind of throw like like this one right here, a white with a little bit of chartreuse, and kind of throw it along the top of the grass and just slow roll it right along that grass, and it's going to create that ripple, that reaction for them bass to just come up. Easy meal. And what I like to throw as a trailer on the back of this is a Yamamoto Seiko. Them Seikos are really good, basically meant for these chatterbaits. And with that tail action, a lot of people like to throw paddle tails on the back of these. That paddle tail is good and all, but what it does is that the ripple off of the paddle tail basically eliminates your chatter off of your blade right here. So with that Seiko, with that fin tail, what that's going to do is kind of go with that motion of this blade, and it's going to create a lot more commotion in the water, a lot more reaction, and that's going to help out a lot. And I'll get more into that here in a little bit when I show y'all, you know, my arsenal, what I got, what I'll, my, what is that, my fourth one? Or is that my, yeah, that's my fourth. So, last but not least, I have one rigged up right now, but my fifth bait that I like to throw is a glide bait, or any kind of swim bait. Like this right here, I have the WinterBass Mag Slow. I think this is in a 9-inch. I really love this bait. It's got quite a few bass on it, but mainly I like to throw a glide bait. And you know, the reason I like to throw a glide bait, the action that you get off this glide bait, and it's not really, you know, the swim bait action of it that I like so much, that really creates them, you know, more reaction and more strikes on it. With this glide bait, give it a, you know, it's got normal, your normal S motion. But what I like most about it is if you give it a couple jerks, say you give it one jerk, two jerks, and then one hard, what it's going to do is it's going to turn around and face that fish, whatever fish is following. And then that's when that bass is going to come up and strike it. It feels intimidated. So that's what I really like about that. Does really good if if you're around wooded cover, if you got any kind of trees, you know, sticking up, them bass are kind of hanging around in trees. It's going to do really good. Like this one right here that I have set up. This is I have a shimmer swimmer tied on the back of a VMC swim bait head with a little blade underneath it. It's a little willow blade, so it's an underspin. What I like about this is, yes, I'm imitating that shad pattern with my shimmer swimmer, and you know that paddle tail is kind of creating that extra motion in the water. But with this underspin, it's kind of giving a bait ball effect in a way. And that's what, you know, you throw a bait, you know, you throw something like that and underspin out, that's going to basically create that bait ball effect, slow roll it over some grass and brush, and what it's going to do is cause that bass to come up. You have it right there. So that's what, you know, I really like about that. They're really effective around this time of the year. I might give y'all a little extra tip here. Depending on your water temperature, a good top water will do good for this time of the year. Top water does really good, you know, early in the morning. Like I said, depending on your water temperature, always check your water temperature before you go out. Always observe, you know, where you're fishing at before you get out there and you start fishing. So, you know, I'm going to go ahead and talk about this giveaway here real quick. Alright, y'all. So, if y'all made it this far, y'all made it to the giveaway portion of the video. And what I'm going to be giving away is my Quantum Syntex CTX 100H. It's a 7-to-1 gear ratio. Awesome reel. I love this reel, but I don't use it as much as I did before. Especially now that I'm have my sponsors, I'll be dealing with them a lot more. But I will be giving away this reel to one of y'all lucky subscribers. This will be on Instagram too, so y'all will be competing with Instagram. So I'll talk a little more about that on my Instagram channel. But what you got to do in order to be entered on this giveaway is make sure you're subscribed, number one. if you ain't subscribed, then obviously you don't know what's going on here. Y'all just crazy. But 2, you have to like this video, and 3, why don't y'all just comment below what you like to see? You know, what are y'all's interests, and that's it. So again, subscribe, comment, or like and comment, and y'all will be entered for this giveaway. So there we go. That's it. Alright, so now I'm going to talk about my arsenal a little bit. I know a lot of y'all been wondering what I throw. And this is my Makin Spartacus setup on a 7-foot medium heavy Shakespeare Excursion. I know it's a cheap rod, but it does the job. Right now I have my underspin with my shimmer swimmer tied up, running 12-pound vicious fluorocarbon. This reel is usually just my all-around reel. Depending on what I use, I throw my jerk baits on this, my crank baits, anything like that. It's good. So really, that's my all-around reel for, you know, my jerk baits, crank baits, and all that. Next is my Makin Spartacus Plus. I have a River to Sea lipless crank tied on right now on my Shakespeare Ugly Sticks 7-foot medium action. Then I have a 25-pound Makin mono tied on right now. This one right here is just basically I tie on whatever I feel like on this one. Doesn't really have a set standard of what I use for this. It's kind of my, just if I have something else that I need to throw on, I'll just throw it on real quick. Top water. I don't really like to throw top water on it, but I will. Really, I throw my jigs on this, and then because of my mono, you know, I really don't like throwing jigs on my 12-pound test on my Makin with my Shakespeare Excursion. I don't know, something about the floor on it. It's got too much stretch in it, and I really don't like that with my jigs. You know, I pop it, and there's just too much play in between there. The mono doesn't have as much play. Now on to my Mack Daddy. This is my Enigma ECAS EC150. I have it set up on a 7.6 heavy from Abu Garcia Vengeance. Right now I have 65-pound Power Pro braided test line on. I have my chatterdonk on right now, of course. You know, you gotta throw the chatterdonk. You know, slaying big ones, swamp donkeys on the chatterdonk, y'all. This reel, I really love this reel. Shout out to Enigma. They are an awesome company. Make awesome reels, and an awesome company to work with. So, yeah, basically that's my arsenal, y'all. I don't really have much. I have a finesse combo over there. I really don't want to show that. Because it's all jacked up. Lose reel set up on a Akuma rod. But yeah, that's really my arsenal, y'all. If y'all like this video, if y'all like to see more stuff like this, you know, comment below, y'all. I really love this bait. As you can tell, I've had a bunch of strikes that I'm about to do for another one. But yeah. Alright, y'all. Tell me what y'all like about this video, y'all. If y'all like seeing stuff like this, I know y'all ready to get out on the water with me. I'm anxious to get y'all out on the water. I've had a couple of times this past week that I've tried to get out there with y'all, but you know, the bite's just been too tough. You know, I want to make a solid video for y'all. I don't want to make some lousy video where I go out there and I don't catch a single fish and I'm just sitting there talking and casting the whole time. You know, so that's basically it. I'm just trying to make good content for y'all. So hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, y'all, and just comment below. Tell me what y'all like. So that's my arsenal, y'all. It's my top 5 winter tips and tricks. Hope y'all like it. So I guess that's the end of the video, y'all. I'm out.